Hi everyone, we're here with Claire, just her, an amazing producer and DJ.
Hi, thanks for having me.
She just had an amazing panel at IMS as well, so lots of things going on. Well, take us back to where you started, like your first DJ show or the first DJ that you saw that actually made you feel like you want to be a DJ, that first moment where you wanted to be involved in the music professionally as well.
Do you know, I can really pinpoint a moment, but it came because I got into clubbing first, so I was always like obsessed with electronic music from when I was a kid, and I used to like record my own DIY record shows in my room and stuff, thinking I was really cool, and then that eventually evolved into going clubbing when I was old enough. And there was a moment in Ibiza actually which kicked it all off. I went to Pasha and I was standing at the back of the decks and watching Roger Sanchez play on like 3-4 decks. Nice. And I was just like, this is amazing and I need to create these moments on the dance floor myself. And so I learned to DJ first, so I'm like an old school artist that was a DJ before I was producing, and I started actually on vinyl and sort of CDJs when CDJs had only just started then. But then there came a point where I knew that you had to start making music if you wanted to keep getting booked. So I actually went to university quite late on in my career and took a gamble and went and did a production degree and started making music to try and do it full time. And yeah, luckily it was a risk that paid off, because here I am.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, so Roger Sanchez at Pasha, that's amazing.
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
cool.
It was good.
And where were you based when you started out, or like? Can you even tell us, like, I know, but like you can tell everybody where you're from and like what was the scene back then? Was it like influential in your decisions as well?
I don't know if you know actually, but I'm from Leicester originally. So when I first started DJing, it was in Leicester, and I was actually a resident. Leicester at the time had a really amazing club scene. There were some brilliant clubs like Emporium, and I had a residency for quite a big night in Leicester at the time. And then it kind of grew into travelling to London and playing at Pasha London at the time. That doesn't exist anymore, but and we had like a collective of DJs, and I used to follow them around the country as well, and that was kind of how I really like learned the skills of DJing and stuff. So, but then I moved to Brighton. The scene kind of died in Leicester in the end. And yeah, so I moved down to Brighton, which has got more of a hub for music now, and I've been there 10 years, so yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I thought you were from Brighton, so sorry. I also learned something amazing. And you also run a label, Constant Circles. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it? When did you launch it? Is it primarily for your music, or you're also signing other artists? Maybe, tell us what's the idea behind it, and what are you looking for in the artists that you sign?
I love my little label. It's my little baby. I started it 10 years ago, but I've had a bit of a break. Actual baby 4 years ago, so it's been on a bit of a break, and then I've just relaunched it actually last year. But Constant Circles, the whole philosophy of that is that everything trends, move circles, right? So see things at the moment. 90s sounds are like coming back in, aren't they? The scene is constantly evolving. Everything moves in constant circles. Like the past sounds from the present sounds in the future as well, and that's kind of the concept. Also quite special in that we as well, so I sign visual artists to the label, and we either match a piece of visual art with the music, or I'll get an artist to actually create something that conceptualizes the music. So a lot of the artists, they make physical copies of the artwork as well, and we've done 2 art exhibitions where we exhibit the artwork and we play the music. So yeah, that's like a little extra thing that we do.
Love it. And where were the exhibitions, in Brighton or?
Yeah, one was in Brighton and one was in London. So hopefully we'll do some more of those.
Cool. Let me know.
Yeah.
Well, would you have any advice to anybody who's starting a label right now? Like, the times obviously changed and it's very saturated. What do they have to do to stand out?
I mean, it sounds really cheesy, but I think you've just got to really stay true to what, the sounds and the aesthetics that you believe in, and not to follow trends. And I feel like that's something that I have tried to do. And if you're really passionate about what you do and you just stick to it, your audience should find you. Whereas if you're chasing trends, you're going to get lost in that noise.
Definitely.
I think
definitely. Like you said, everything comes in circles, so in cycles. Absolutely. So you should like stay true to your own cycle, and it will come back eventually.
Exactly.
Anyway. Yeah.
Exactly.
Great. And Would you say you're more of a producer type, or do you feel more live on stage, or does one fuel the other?
I think it's both now, yeah. Obviously I started as a DJ, but the point of making music is to create those moments of euphoria on the dance floor, and there's nothing better than playing your own tune and creating that moment. So I think, yeah, it's 50-50 now, I think, for me.
Sure,
yeah.
sure. And now question, what would you say is the hardest part of being in the music industry? I mean, you just had a panel about hate speech and all that, like hate online. Would you say that could be the hardest part, or is there something more that you would consider?
I think that's probably the main thing, and also the rejection. I think you have to be extremely resilient to be an artist. I mean, I mentioned earlier that the whole point of being an artist is putting your art out to the world for criticism, you know, for opinions. And yeah, so there's a lot of criticism, there's a lot of rejection as well, because art is subjective, so not everybody is going to like it. And so I think it takes a lot of work to become resilient enough to not let that affect you.
Yeah, I agree. And what would be the best part of being in the industry?
The dance floor moments. The dance floor moments are the best thing. Like for me, the connection. I mean, I cry all the time. I'm terrible for crying, like in the DJ booth. And sometimes, like, I've had moments where, like at warm up, there's a night called Warm Up in London, which is a really locked in crowd, and they did a festival where I played the opening set on the opening night, and it was a 3-hour set, and the energy was like just spiraling. I was feeling it more, and I was like going for it, and then the crowd were giving it back, and we just spiraled until I was like in floods of tears by the end of it. And yeah, moments like that are everything to me. It's funny because when I'm making tunes, I'm almost visualising, like I'm in the studio, like visualising me playing it on the dance floor and having those moments. So yeah, it runs through everything that I do, I think.
Yeah. I love it. And since you're an avid producer, what are your thoughts about AI entering the music industry, or already entered, let's put it this way?
I mean, I'm scared. I'm definitely feeling very scared. I'm scared, but I'm also hopeful. I think obviously AI can be used to really improve workflows and to be more productive, but I don't feel like it can ever really recreate that human emotion element of music. I'm hoping it can't. And so it can't completely replicate the music, you know, that comes from your soul. It can't do that. It's never going to have a soul. So I'm hoping, yeah, that we can get it doing, you know, the things that we don't want to do while we make the art. Sure, and it makes our life easier in other ways.
Have you used any tools so far? Or?
I use like little plugins and things, bits and bobs, like STEM creators and stuff like that. I've not used things like Suno that are making the music for you. It's not on my radar.
Suno is also changing into like a station, so as you say, like things are changing and rapidly moving.
We can't avoid this. We have to embrace it somehow. We've got to evolve with it. I'm hopeful that it's going to make our lives ultimately easier rather than taking the art away from us.
100%. And what are the plans for this year? Anything else, like anything exciting happening you would like to share with us?
I've got a busy few weeks and months actually. I'm playing at Ministry of Sound when I get back from here. And I've got gigs, some gigs in Brighton and in London. And then I'm also speaking and playing at Brighton Music Conference as well, which is in May. And release-wise, I've got a few bits. I'm working on a Just Her EP on Constant Circles, actually, which it's nice to have like a bit of your own control of your own output. But then I've also got music coming on Colorize, on Mango Alley, a remix on This Never Happened, you know, on Lane 8's label. And also a vinyl release on Rhythm Cult, which is a super cool Barcelona-based label. So yeah, so lots of nice things like cooking and just keep going and trying to keep speaking up about, you know, equality and things like that, like I do. Come on.
Keep going. Well, we're excited to hear the music when it's out, and thank you so much for the chat.
Thanks for having me.